It's your daily dose of Donna. Happy Friday. It is July 7th, and it's my favorite day of the week. Fridays are the bomb. Last Friday, it didn't feel like a Friday because I had just gotten back from Israel and Greece, and I was so jet lagged and I was so tired and so confused. But this feels like a Friday. Update on my kids. I know a lot of you guys have been listening about my kids and the camp story. My kids are at camp, sleepaway camp, for the first time, in case you missed it, in 3 weeks. For 3 weeks. First time ever at sleepaway camp. And I waited desperately yesterday to see some pictures because they upload pictures at the end of the night. And when I tell you, they uploaded 50 pictures and my kids were not in one. I saw the back of Oliver in one. It was not good enough. I was not happy. And my husband thinks I'm being crazy because he thinks like, they're fine. They're happy. If something was wrong, they would let us know. But I, as a mother, and maybe this is just a mom, you guys, moms need that reassurance. We just want to know that they're okay. Once I get a letter or see a picture of their smiling faces, I'm going to feel a lot better about it. But it was day 2. It was day 2. We should have gotten more pictures. Okay. Welcome to the show. So many new subscribers as always. You guys, I think we're going to hit 7,000 subscribers by the time that Oliver gets back from camp. I promised him I would do it. So thank you so much for subscribing, for the liking, for giving a comment down below. And if you're listening to the podcast, that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and a review on Apple Podcasts means everything. So don't forget to do that if you're listening. And if you're here on TikTok, welcome. Thank you for following. Over on Instagram, are you guys on Threads yet? I told you about Instagram's new app Threads yesterday. It's so fun. Love posting over there. And then lastly, join the Facebook group, Daily Dose of Donna. It is popping off, and we've got a lot of fun stuff going on in there. Okay. That was the homework. That was the background. I am fresh out of a hot yoga class. That's why I'm a little bit late today. I had my girlfriend over here after we were drinking coffee because I have no kids in the house. Now we can just drink coffee in the middle of the day without being interrupted. I feel so, every time I have a friend over, I don't know if you guys would recognize this feeling, but every time I have a girlfriend over for like a midday coffee, I always think about Real Housewives in New Jersey, how they always just like sit and have coffee any time of the day. Right? I remember this from season 1 with Caroline and Jacqueline. Like, you want to come over? Let's have a coffee. It was always the thing. It wasn't really like, let's have a glass of wine. Whereas here in LA, I feel like if my friends come over in the afternoon, it's usually let's have a glass of wine, right? But morning is coffee time. I was very new Real Housewives today. Okay. So much to talk about. Speaking of Real Housewives, of course, we're going to talk about a few things regarding Real Housewives. Number 1 being Kim and Kroy. Guys, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann, Kim Zolciak Biermann and Kroy Biermann called off their divorce 2 months after filing. Both of them seek dismissals, according to TMZ. No real specific reason. We did see them go to church together the other day, and I thought that was interesting. But what I said yesterday in yesterday's show was I actually liked it because you know what? They have young kids. And if they're actually happy, then they should be together. Do you guys think this is a PR stunt? Do you guys feel like they wanted to get a ton of, press and maybe a new show or something, and it didn't work, and now they're like, wait, what are we doing? Do you think that someone paid off their debt? Would you believe that they would actually go through this whole thing with their kids involved for a PR? I want to know. My gut feeling is yes as well. But what's confusing about it is why would you go so down the line of, okay, it's one thing if we just file for divorce, but then the abuse claims, the kidnapping claims, the drug claims, the gambling claims, like all of that felt so intense for what could potentially be a PR stunt, knowing that your kids are old enough to read and see the headlines. Am I crazy to think that that would be too much even for them? It's so interesting. Okay, you guys think it's so expensive to divorce when you don't have money. Well, that's like going back to the Kyla Mauricio thing, right? So many people are just separating, but they're not even saying we're separating. Well, maybe they are separated, actually. We don't know. We just know that the divorce has been called off, right? It's been it's kind of crazy. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking the press kind of slowed down. They realized that they, needed each other, or maybe it was too expensive to divorce, or maybe all of this money owed to the IRS wasn't going to go away with the divorce. Who knows? Maybe they were trying to get on a show. Do you think Bravo is more interested in getting them on a show now, considering everything that has happened? That's my question for you guys. Do you think that Kim is now more possibly going to join a next episode, next season of Real Housewives, or a new show for Kim and Kroy, like Kim and Kroy, you know how they had like their party, Don't Be Tardy for the Party show? Like, what if they did like Kim and Kroy, the unification, right? Who knows? Maybe they just got sick of not being in the press because they realized Kyle and Mauricio and VPR just kept taking their steam. Either way, here's the thing. Do I care enough? No. This does not interest me nearly as much as anything else on these shows. Like, I'm obsessed with the Kyle Richards story. I was obsessed with the VPR story. Kim and Kroy, it was always kind of under the radar. Okay. Happy for the kids. All right, let's move on, right? What did I tell you about Ariana and Dancing with the Stars? Now, I'm not the only person that saw this. Hello, everyone saw this. We were talking about Ariana and Dancing with the Stars back in, let's see, the affair came out in March, like April, maybe May. It was out there so early. So no one's shocked by this, but it wasn't official. From what I know, it wasn't official because she was on Watch What Happens Live, remember, right after the finale of Vanderpump Rules, and she said, I would love to do it, but it's not actually happening yet. So obviously they were in talks. The agents probably all kind of were chatting and everything, and they finally confirmed for her to do Dancing with the Stars. Yesterday, Derek Huff and her were spotted in West Hollywood filming at her sandwich shop. They had a really cute little reel done, like a joint reel, where they basically said, she was offering him all kinds of dance-like sandwiches. She's adorable. I think it's going to be great. I actually think it's going to be a really good move for her. I think it's an amazing move for Dancing with the Stars and for Disney Plus and ABC. They also had, one of their judges who left the show, Len Goodman. He passed away, and now they're bringing back Julianne Hough as, I believe, a co-host with Alfonso Ribeiro. Tyra Banks is gone. Also, as we say in Israel, or as we say in Hebrew. Hey guys, as we say in Hebrew, it's like Baruch Hashem, right? Like, thank God Tyra Banks is gone, because that was just hard to watch. I think it's going to be great. Now, the question is, who else is going to be on the show, and who do you think she's going to dance with? I have to be honest, I am not a huge Dancing with the Stars fan. Like I said, I haven't really watched so much. I will watch this season for you guys. But my husband seems to think Alan would be a good match for her. So if you're a Dancing with the Stars fan and you've been watching, you would know who Alan is. I'm curious if you guys think that Alan would be a good match, or Gleb. By the way, what if your name was Gleb? Can you imagine if you married a Gleb? Hey, Glebby. Gleb. So I'd be interested to see who else was on the show. It's like the year of the reality shows getting other reality shows, right? Tom Schwartz got Stars on Mars, and Ariana is now getting Dancing with the Stars, and Tom Sandoval got, what was his called? Like Operation Special Forces, like something crazy. Speaking of, you guys, we had some boots on the ground yesterday on Instagram. I don't know where this was filmed, but I imagine somewhere in Hollywood area. There was a person's Instagram. She filmed Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval filming Vanderpump Rules during the day at a bar. They had beers at the table, but for whatever reason, my gut feeling thinks that they're going to be non-alcoholic beers, at least for Tom Sandoval. And they were drinking, hanging out, and talking, filming. What do you guys think is going to have conspire with the Schwartz and Sandoval of it all? Do we believe that they're getting pushed out of Tom Tom? Do we believe that Schwartz and Sandy's is in major trouble? I heard that they're not even allowed to film at Schwartz and Sandy's this upcoming season because of the partners, etc. I don't think that would be a good move for the partners, but I'm curious what you guys think. Tom Sandoval was interviewed by TMZ, and he basically didn't say anything. So it wasn't that interesting. Guys, I'm worried a little bit that it's been built up. Although I say this now, but I do believe that what's going to happen is we're going to get so sick of talking about Vanderpump Rules. We're going to get so sick of the behind the scenes photos. We're going to get so sick of people, posting like paparazzi photos of them filming. But then by the time the new season comes out, they're going to edit that damn trailer so good that all of us are going to be watching it, because the end of the trailer, they're going to like flash to Raquel. And we're all going to be like, oh my God, what is she going through? Can't wait for that. Speaking of editing, do you think with the Kyle Richards of it all for this next season, do you think that they're re-editing the trailer or the show for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I don't know when they're planning on airing Beverly Hills. I know that it already wrapped. So I wonder, I believe now they know. They have a huge story on their hands. This is very similar to, the story of Vanderpump Rules. They can't pretend it's not happening. They know that this is a big part of the storyline, and maybe it already was. But all I know is Erica Jane is pissed, because this was going to be her year where it was going to be all about her return to a music career. And now we're going to have a whole season about Mauricio and Kyle, I think. Right? What do you think? Curious from you guys. I mean, Bravo's not an idiot. They got to do that, right? They got to start airing what people want to see. And people do not, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested in whole episodes about Crystal Minkoff and her family. And I like Crystal as a person, but it's just boring TV, right? Or I don't know. We'll see. Beverly Hills was the one season the one franchise that I really wasn't looking forward to. And now I feel like I will be. Celeb Fail, you said new show starts Sunday. New show what? What show? Crappy Lake? Because I know that show is starting. Are we watching Crappy Lake with Luann and Sonia? Why does Luann say Sonia's name wrong? I want to know from you guys. Leave me in the comments. Do you say Sonia like so address, or do you say Sonia like Luann, like son? Sonia. Sonia. You guys. Have you downloaded Taylor Swift's new album? Speak Now. TV. Taylor Swift version. I did. I literally have become such a Swiftie in the last couple of years. But nothing beats All Too Well 10-minute version, right? Nothing beats sitting there and just listening to it. But I did download it, and I'm interested in if you guys are obsessed like me, if you're obsessed in the whole thing. Okay, so another big story. This is just like me ping-ponging. Fridays are always random. Another big story today is the Britney Spears of it all. And I was just talking to my TikTok audience before I started the show about, do we want to talk about Britney Spears? Here's the thing, you guys. Britney Spears lost me a few years ago, to be 100% honest. I'm interested in this crazy story, but her personality on Instagram has thrown me off so much that it's been really hard for me to even care. I unfollowed her because I was like, what am I watching? I feel like I'm actually watching some crazy ass person if you take away the Britney of it. So I'm not very interested in it, but apparently, I'm sure you guys have all heard that she and this NBA star Victor Wembanyama have different accounts of what actually happened before Britney Spears' security guard slapped her. So there's Britney's version where she basically is just talking to him and doesn't do anything. And then there's his version where she grabs him, and it's kind of this back and forth. I don't know, you guys. The video that TMZ just posted, it says that Britney reaches up, taps Victor on his left shoulder. So she didn't grab him. She just tapped him like this. And then Victor's security slaps her hand, pushes her hand out of the way. Either his hand struck her face or he made contact with her hand, and the force of impact caused her hand to hit her face. So it's either he went so imagine, we're going to act this one out. Imagine he went her hand was here, and the security guard came from the side and was like, no. and pushed her hand off, and either his hand went and hit her face or he pushed her hand and she hit herself in the face. Either way, it was probably aggressive. You hear the slap. Police don't think that it appeared he struck her intentionally. It was more him swatting her hand away. Her glasses flew off, but she did not fall as indicated. And then apparently she was screaming afterwards. Also, she was talking in a British accent the entire time. What? It's very confusing. Did she do anything wrong? Absolutely not. Did his security overreact? Yes. But at the same time, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what, maybe he thought she was just some crazy girl running up to him. Who knows? I think the security guard probably should be fired, I would imagine. He swung back at her hand, Celeb Fail is saying. I think that he should be probably let go and maybe, serve some sort of a charge. But he's also security. Like, it's really tricky, you guys. He's security, and he should probably, I don't know. What are you going to do? If someone is going and like talking, okay, Celeb Fail says her hand hit herself in the face. He's not guarding the Pope. Yes, it was over the top. He acted too emotional. It reminds me of this other story that's like all over TikTok, and I'm not going to talk deeply about it because I don't even remember her name. But there was some comedian that has over 1 million followers on TikTok, and she was doing a live show, and she always gets the audience interaction. And this one audience member screamed out something. And she took it so far. She told her to unalive herself multiple times. She told her horrible things. And now she's saying I let the emotions get the best of me. Okay, but here's the thing. It's very tricky. When you're in the public eye, you really have to keep yourself in check. Remember that one time when Nick Lachey went over to a paparazzi car, when he was leaving a restaurant with Vanessa. Wait, you guys, I just thought of something. Have we heard from Vanessa Lachey since Love is Blind? Literally have not thought about this since Valentine's Day when this episode came out, when the Love is Blind finale was out. Have we heard about this? Okay, just to wrap up the Britney Spears and then we'll move on. It's shitty what he did. It's not okay. And I'm curious to see what happens, but it does also feel like she may be what's the word? Embellished the story a little bit. That's my thought, right? Vanessa Lachey, I had a whole, I'm doing some deep diving. I had a whole episode about Vanessa Lachey and the Love is Blind and how insane she was in that finale. And now I think about it, I have not seen anything from her. Okay, so she's posted a few times. It looks like she's just posting family things. Yeah, she's pretty quiet. Just family stuff. I remember right when she posted about Love is Blind, I mean, she got killed on that. She turned off her comments on those first few posts, but that was a crazy, crazy time. Did she ever apologize about it? Did she ever apologize about the way that she acted in that crazy episode of Love is Blind? We know that a new Love is Blind is coming out soon, and I believe that she's on it. Okay, yeah, that was a real random that I thought about Vanessa Lachey. But anyway, the reason why I brought it up is because Nick Lachey was filmed going crazy after some woman, a paparazzi, outside of a restaurant a few months ago, hitting into her car, and he said my emotions got the best of me. He ended up having to go to anger management. So this security guard probably should have to do something along those lines. Don't you guys think? I don't know. Okay, what other stories are we talking about? We have no new news on the Kyle Richards and the Mauricio story. I do know that they've been super uber silent, as they should be. And like I said yesterday, I'm not here to speculate and talk about anything unless something is presented to us, so I'm not going to talk about it. Oh, what I loved, this is what I will talk about, is Celeb Fail still here on my live? What I loved was listening to Bitch Sesh, and they were talking about Bethany. And Ira Madison, he's so funny. He's a comedian. He's, I believe, an actor. He was the guest, and they were like, "So, what are your thoughts on Bethany?" And Ira said, "How did she go from becoming from this multi-millionaire boss babe to becoming a grocery store vlogger?" The way I laughed my ass off. It was so funny. Celeb fail, you have to hear this. They were so confused. They were like, "We don't understand what has happened with Bethany." Then they said, "Do you think Bethany goes to therapy?" And Danielle Schneider goes, "I think she probably has gotten 3 therapists who have fired her." I think like it's a majority. I think the majority of the people. Have you guys watched Bethany's YouTube show, by the way? I did watch a little bit. I watched a little bit of, because I saw one where there was like a clickbaity title where it was like, "Watch me yell at my housekeeper." And then I watched it and I was like, "You never once yelled at her. I'm so confused. You just told her that she has to get on a dating site. So what? Huh? Huh?" Oh, you guys. Well, this wraps up another lovely week of Daily Dose of Donna. It was a short week, of course. Oh, the views are ridiculously low on YouTube for Bethany. Listen, all I know is I have a little over 6,000 subscribers on my YouTube, and she has, let's check it out. She has, I want to say, like almost 200,000 subscribers on her YouTube. I'll tell you guys in just a second. Let me try to find it really fast if I can just do the live of this all. Bethany has 170,000 subscribers. So she has like 100 times more subscribers as me. Like she has like 50 times more subscribers than me. 30, 20. I can't do the math. She has a lot more subscribers than me. And her videos are at about 77,000, 150,000, 100,000. So she doesn't have crazy views, considering that my videos in the last few days with 6,000 subscribers have over 10,000 views. So there is a disconnect there. I'm very curious. Yes, a lot of people love her. A lot of people love her. All right, you guys, let's wrap up the week. Thank you so much for following along. Make sure to follow on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. No, we don't tweet anymore. We thread and TikTok. And hopefully we'll get some more news about any of these stories by Monday. Something new and big has to break because, now we're in like a little bit of a lull. We need some good stuff coming up. I'm going to have a fun kid-free weekend. I'm going out with my husband tonight. I'm going out with friends tomorrow night. I'm going to lay out. I'm just going to chill, you guys. So thanks so much for falling. Thanks so much for following, and I'll see you guys on Monday.